Hey, what's going on? This is Koi from Array of Gratitude, but I got a new vibe and new thing going on here. I have a blog called Queen of Wands Club. It's a blog slash a club because I really want to connect with women that are entrepreneurs, that are soul survivors, that are really looking to define their offer and create a substantial offer within their business. The entrepreneurship path is very complicated and ups, downs, and all arounds, but it's also very spiritual. And I know that the people that I'm connecting with are soul led and really wanting to align with their soul mission, um, and do things that make them happy and align with their passions. That's what I'm all here for. And this is Queen Koi, right? And Koi's collection of creative things that I just love to do, authentically me, raw and uncut. And this is the solar eclipse, right? We are now changing axis from our nodes, North Node and South Node. For the past about 2 years, it was North Node in Taurus and South Node in Scorpio. I love card readings. They have been a big part of my spiritual entrepreneurship to keep me closer to my soul, but also a way and a tool to help me understand my intuition, because there was a lot of things in my life that just made me very unsettled when making certain life decisions. You'll get to understand some of my spiritual entrepreneurial stories if you sign up to the Queen of Wands Club. You are more than welcome to come. All you have to do is subscribe. You'll get alerted. And also, subscribing to the club will allow you to see what exclusive content I have, because it's been a long time coming, but I'm finally working and dedicating myself more to this project that involves seeing my artwork. You may have seen bits and pieces of my artwork, but now it's a little bit more defined and a little bit more purposeful as I start creating a new deck and a new project as well. So if you don't know me, I love cards. I've created at least 4 different cards that really helped me with my affirmations and all that stuff. But now we're getting into something a little bit different, something a little bit deeper, something a little bit soulful. So I'd love for you to stick around with me for a little bit so we can tap into this new moon energy to see what is like. The new moon is all about new starts, and the new moon in the sky, you usually can't see it. When it starts progressing, you'll see that sexy crescent. I love crescent moons. Most people define the new moon at that, but at its potency in the new moon, it's pitch black. Like, you don't see the moon at all because it's in its shadow. It's not illuminated. And that's when we need to also understand what do we want to start new to have a fresh start, right? And tap into that unknown energy. And 2, what do we want to release? Because by the time we get to the full moon, it will be fully illuminated and knowing what we need to release. You know what I mean? This is part of why I like doing, following the full moon and the new moon cycles, because we're all like connected with it. If you're not that, woo-woo or spiritual, even people still understand how the full moon brings out the emotions and that lunatic energy, or just that deep sense of, why am I so emotional, right? But again, I know I'm speaking to my woo-woos. Can I get a woo-woo-woo? I'm speaking to my woo-woos. I'm speaking to my soul leads, and I'm speaking to my spiritual entrepreneurs. So we're going to get into what is being like revealed to us at this time to start something new, right? Let me check my book because I always seem to forget. I don't know why with the new moon. Maybe because it's too new. I don't know. So we're going to talk about, what new awareness is coming to the surface, right? We're going to talk about some of the chakras, what's going on with that. And then we're going to get into the entrepreneurial energy. And I'm going to want you to pick a card, all right? We're going to do some little, spice it up a little bit. If it sounds good, pause for the cause, get your tea, whatever it is, and we're going to get into it, all right? If you haven't paused, please do get comfy because I'm just going to do 3 breaths, guys. I just want to invite you to take 3 breaths. And then we're going to talk a little bit about this Libra energy altogether, right? But let's see. Let's get comfy, all right? Let's go. Let's just take a breath, tap into her energy, and feel into her body. Okay. Breathe in. Exhale out. Inhale. Slowly exhale. Let's do one more deep breath in through the nose, expanding your stomach, and out through the mouth. Exhaling all that air and breathing out all worries, doubts, and fears. Let's begin, y'all. Okay. I'll put this right here. So we're going to talk into this analogy, all right? So Libra is the 7th sign in the zodiac, and it deals with relationships. Libra is a relationship sign. That's why a lot of times with Libra, at the lower energy, they deal with a lot of codependency. It's just a relationship. They know people. I mean, we're not the only person here on earth, right? Like when you're living in your own world, they may tend to do that, but the counter opposite of that really is Aries energy. They create their own world and they live in their own world. And a lot of times they're deemed as selfish, self-centered, and they can be, but that's not the only thing, right? But Libra is always challenged with decisions and keeping the peace, sometimes being a people pleaser, but they're always judging and trying to balance that energy. You know, when we speak about fairness or justice, it comes from a place of balanced energy, right? Usually balancing the heart and the mind, but also it's kind of reminding me too of that karmic energy. You know, when things come around, they go around. It's balancing out that energy. And with every action, there's a reaction. And for those that have been putting in work, you're going to start seeing it in some place, shape, or form in your life where you're receiving that abundance, you know, energy back. For those that may have not been and just getting on the bandwagon, there's no need to be judged by that. But it is time to really sit with your emotions, check your energy, understand what boundaries need to be played, you know, need to be put off. Are there people distracting you? Are you falling victim to certain weaknesses? You know, are you setting your own boundaries for yourself first and foremost? And really tapping into what is best for you and leaving behind all things that aren't serving you in this time. Because it's about time. I'm always going to speak about goal setting, intentions, and how we reach to those intentions, right? How we reach to those goals. So we have here something that we need to know right now. And it's very funny because Spirit's like, release. What do we need to release though? I'm getting that what we need to release, because the gray one can deal with the crown chakra. And as you can see too, she's somewhat holding her head. I hope you can see, because I'm not looking at myself in this camera. She's holding her head, right? It's raining, it's dark, it's gloomy. And I do feel like a lot of us collectively have been going through like this gray clouds. Like, it's really interesting. I don't know where y'all are at. You can definitely comment below. But I'm located in New Jersey. And I also know, shout out to my peeps in Florida. You already know who I'm talking about if you're watching this. She's in Florida, and the East Coast really has... October is kind of hurricane season, at least on the islands, but we tend to get it too because it's the East Coast, right? And it was raining like nonstop, like all week. I haven't had that much rain in a while. And then to the point where there were some areas that were flooding. To me, it's kind of like, I feel like collectively we were also feeling that too, because with flooding water, water is the element of emotions. There are some things that we just were so confused about, right? Because there has been some deep transformational energy that has been moving through us all, with Pluto finally moving direct. Pluto is like the energy of the underworld. It's very unconscious. It's not even subconscious, unconscious. And when you're talking about energy like that, it's really unknown, and you're just moving along. But sometimes we react to things that are unknown, right? It's just a quick reaction, can't think. And what I love to preach about is being mindful, right? So we can actually move forward in a place where we're not reacting. We're able to I'm trying to look for the word, because you're not reacting, you're responding. That's it. Where you can kind of think about it first and then respond to that energy, right? So let's get into this. Let's dive a little deeper to what this energy is really wanting us to be aware of here. Because I definitely think that it's a lot of like dead end things that we've been going through, that if we haven't woken up to see that it's a dead end, and it is, and it's really time to let it go. It's kind of like the opposite of spring cleaning, you know what I mean? Okay, we connect. And this card here, connect, always reminds me of like the triad or the Trinity. As you see, one foot is up in the air in the middle, and then the hands in the other foot. It's reminding me of a triangle. And with that, it's speaking like it's speaking like, okay, there are new things on the horizon, but it's also speaking on like, how are we connecting with a higher power? Our higher self. How are we connecting? God, universe, however you want to call it, right? I wish for anyone that knows this might be a yoga pose too. And if this is a yoga pose, this is also reminding me, let's get into our body. Being in our body is being grounded. Being grounded is being rooted. Being grounded is connecting with the root chakra here. And just because we're losing something, it doesn't necessarily mean that we can't gain something 10 times greater. But a lot of times by human nature, we tend to, look at this. We tend to connect with fear easier than love. I don't know. We got 10 of Swords and the Emperor here. I definitely think, my entrepreneurs, something has came to an end, and it's really hard at times, like when you do a lot of work, because Lord knows I do that. It's like I've been working so hard, putting in all those hours, just for someone to tell me that it's not working. Like, what? But when you think about it, though, a lot of creation there's a big, like, the creative process, right? It's inception, and then there's a big trial and error. And then once you start actually gathering the information from that trial and error, then you can move from wisdom and be like, okay, boom, I know it didn't work, so now I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? And seeing it in a way of gaining more knowledge and wisdom instead of, failure and letting things go, then it's a mind shift, mind shift, And it's also like the emperor. It has structure. You can move with structure. You can move substantially with an offer, like I said, with a strategy. When I say strategy, y'all, I've been doing branding for I don't know how long, but it took me a long time to brand myself. And I knew and I was aware of some things that could help others before I helped myself, in a way. And that was making it kind of hard for me, especially because I was trying to do a lot of things all by myself. When I finally took time to create a space to therapeutically get to know me, right? To connect with my soul, and get coaches and, therapists, like get that therapy that I needed to resolve my burnout, to recharge my energy, and connect with my soul, my spirit, God. Because, like, look, burnt out. Like, and also, too, I'm very mental. I'm very feely. I'm more feely than mental. But, for those, we are using our brain constantly, that mental energy when we're creating things, especially as an entrepreneur. And it's just like, are we going to get one more or no? Okay, I don't think we're going to get any more. But it's just like, yo, sometimes when you use your brain activity so much, you maybe not even physical, but more so mental, you can be tired. That's burnout too. And it's just like, what are we doing? Meditation, relaxation? Are we going outside and connecting, right? No. So let's talk about the hidden desires that we didn't see. Because this is interesting. It's like there was a hidden desire to heal. A hidden desire to birth something new. But I kind of feel like many of us is like this. Or in the back of our mind, we're like that girl, just like looking real, like got the ugly face on. Let's see, let's talk about it. Because it's like, and I get it too, because a lot of us sometimes it's like, oh, it's time to release. And people are like, well, I don't know what to release. Because when you get so caught up in, should I say capitalism? When you get so caught up chasing the dollar, going to work, doing all these other things, adulting life, right? We kind of really separate ourselves and we feel like we have no time for nothing. But you have to make time. You have to want it. How bad do you really want this change? There was a time in my life that I had to keep asking myself that question. Because a lot of what was around me was like making me feel like, I don't think this is going to work out. Shapeshifter. Yeah. So we were really desiring a lot of change. And right now we're at the pinnacle of change because this is the eclipse season. And like I was saying in the beginning, right? For those that don't know astrology that well, it's okay. But for those that do, y'all know. We shift nodes. And nodes are like the axis. It reminds me of an axis on that makes the earth spin, kind of, right? But it's really an axis. Am I saying that right? Axis? It's really like this sphere almost. Like there's a tail and there's a head. The North Node is really talking about where you're going, what your soul mission is about, what your soul purpose, what is a lot of that energy that you need to accomplish in this lifetime. And then the head, the tail, right? The South Node is the one where you came from, things that you already know that came natural to you, a lot of things that just are you from past lives too. And the axis shifts, right? It was Taurus North Node, Scorpio South Node. South Node is also places that we keep coming back to reevaluate some things, so we know, like, okay, this is not really what because sometimes it's like you get so lost you don't really know where to go, and then you feel like you're walking down the same road over and over again. But it's for you to learn the lesson. And that South Node, right, it shift. We're now in Libra South Node and Aries North Node. Look that up because I kind of want to focus more on here. If you want to know more, definitely do that. And if you want to know about your special personal chart, definitely check the links below, because I do have a service called Higher Soul Path, I believe. We get to talk about some stuff like that. But this is a general message, and collectively, we are reevaluating things that dealt with partnership, that dealt with relations, right? Family relations, co-worker relations, romantic relations, all of that stuff. Are these people, these friendships, like even what is the word that I'm thinking of? Allies. Like, even people, like, are they your frenemies or are they your allies? Like, what is this? You need to reevaluate some of these things. And really, depending on where it is in your chart, it really might mean, like, you really need to, right? Or it's like, this may play out in your career life, your home life, the public eye. Like, it really just depends. And this shift here is very big too, because the North Node is in Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac sign. That's why Aries can be very immature, right? But no, Aries rules the head, cerebral energy. And Aries is about self, the first sign. It's self-development, though. It's learning self. It doesn't mean self-centeredness, it means self-development, getting to know who you are as an individual, identity. What do you stand for? Yes, you can change your identity. You can shapeshift if you'd like. Libras are also good at doing that. Take it how you see it fit, right? But if you're going to play the part, you're going to play the part well. So let's see what more desires people were trying to move towards here. Let's clarify this. Because a lot of us, I kind of feel like we were blocking ourselves unknowingly, though. Because I'm telling you, there was a lot of deep energy that was going on, subconscious and even unconsciously. Yeah, I think a lot of us were kind of like confused, though, in the ways as Hangman. Exactly. This is so much change. And like when you see the Hangman here with the all that light shining from the head, it's like those aha moments, or really wanting to know, like, have that clarity, like, for sure. Because it's like, oh my God, like, it just reminds me of, I feel like I'm having deja vu, because I'm pretty sure I've said this in other readings before, but like, if any of y'all have ever driven a rundown car, right? And I like to call it a putt-putt car, because some cars can putt-putt, right? And it's like not smooth at all. And sometimes it stops. It feels like it's going to cut off, but it keeps going, right? If anybody knows. That's what's probably been going on with us as well. You know, for a lot of us, we could have been taking 2 steps forward and then 5 steps back. That is so trying. But when things like that happen, it's important for us to really like pause. Pause, smell the roses, get into gratitude so you can start opening your heart and allow your heart to lead you more so, because our mind will play tricks on us when we get into that energy. And then it'll leave us despondent, right? It'll leave us despondent. It'll leave us visionless. You know, again, when we're talking about creativity, you usually have a vision in mind that connects with that intention. If you don't, it's kind of feeling like you're throwing a bunch of shit on the wall, right? With sticks. And then it's like, you know, if nothing sticked, it can feel like you wasted your time and energy. But for some of us, it could have just been a huge test to really get that self-care in, right? Recover from that burnout, you know, or just let our soul lead us to where we need to go so we can really tap into our intuition and be led, you know, because some of us may have drifted from the path. Well, how do we get back is by, you know, what do they say? Let go and let God, you know, surrender. Okay, I'll take this one. Wow, shadow. So I think a lot of us too may have been doing shadow work. If you haven't, that's cool. But shadow integration is coming to mind. And look at this card too. Like you can see there's different phases of the moon. And that number 3 again. Interesting. But we have here too abundance. The solar plexus. Solar plexus is about control. And a lot of things we don't have control over. But when we can control our emotions, right? Align with what we know is best for us in our highest good, listening to our intuition and following our instincts, that's balanced. That's balanced. And that can align us for sure with our goals and be on our soul path, soul mission. Loving our shadows, right? Getting to know ourselves wholeheartedly, meaning the good, the bad, and the ugly. And saying, you know, these are all parts of me, because guess what? I'm a multi-dimensional badass, like straight like that, right? I'm human, but I'm also spirit, you know? Let me see what else is going on here. Because nobody's perfect, but we are a work in progress. Now, if we're not progressing, we're regressing, you know? I know this word retarded is kind of like, oh, don't say that. But that's what that literally means, like stunted growth, right? And the soul growth, too, is knowing that we are abundant. And abundant doesn't necessarily mean money. It's not ruled by things. Sometimes it's like ruled by priceless things. Look at this. Devil for sure. Because we weren't moving at the time that we wanted to, a lot of our negative thoughts were getting in the way. Ashe. Look at this. 8 of Wands in reverse. The Devil card. What's this? Yeah, expansion. A lot of us really was like, where is my stuff? Like, I've been putting in work. I'm not understanding why I'm not getting this. I feel you. More than y'all know. But I don't know. I mean, again, this is where some things just we do not have control over. But what we can do is, you know, focus on us, learn more about ourselves, learn more about a certain project that you feel led to learn, right? In the meantime, stay ready, you know, but also have fun, right? So this sounds like a lot of energy with this solar eclipse is really bringing us to just know when to throw in the towel at some things instead of pushing forward, right? Hitting ourselves on a brick wall, like just cracking our head open. We don't want that, right? Know when to walk away. Just like there's a meme that says that, like the biggest flex is knowing when to walk away from a job, walk away from a relationship, right? Like it is. That's a skill. And again, what do you do when things aren't working? Maybe learning new skills. Tap into that heart space and understand, well, what do I want to do? Let's shift gears, because that's the thing about creative block. When you feel like you can't create, 9 times out of 10, you're creating destruction. You don't want to do that. So you have to walk away. And walking away can mean taking a break, whether how long that is. Or it means taking a break, however long it is, right? Where you can finally take your mind off of whatever was not working and tap into flow again, because flow is part of creativity. And then you may create something new that can give you a new insight, right? Like the hangman, to come back and revise what you were working on, or totally scratch that shit and say, you know what, I already see some flowers over here that I watered. You know, just wasn't my season. Cool. I'm okay with it. I still moved forward in some way, shape, or form. And this is what it seems like Libra is doing. Connecting, right? I said relationships. Definitely connecting a relationship with spirit first and foremost. Right? Mother, Father, God. Mother, Father, inner child. Creating ourselves, that adult version of ours with inner child, that connection. So we can know, like, okay, what is the most instinctual thing that brings me joy and lights me up, right? What is the most intuitive thing that where my intuition is leading me? And also just knowing that you were desiring this change. It may not have been the type of change you've envisioned it, but you're still changing. And that's still a blessing. All right. So I want to just do, before I wrap this up, I want to do one more thing. I want you all to think of a number 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And this is where we're going to give some advice for you all. All right. Just further advice on what's some things you can do to really like focus on during this time, so you can set some new and fresh intentions, really, that can help bring you to the goal of where you need to go, or where you think you need to go, right? Or just be open to receive what is in your best, highest good. All right. So pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. Let's get pile 1. We're going to do pile 1. All right. This is for you, pile 1. So we have sacrificing too much can be a result from feeling unworthy. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Okay. I'm back. So, dream and journey in the Fox Spirit. So, trust your talents in changing times. I'm really feeling for you, pile 1, that there's, because a lot of things have not been working for you, right? There's a need for you to just explore your creativity and just tap into your passions. Like, what other dreams do you have? And if you really can't remember, like, you are so set on that main dream, it's time to do another type of creative task. I'm definitely hearing go out in nature, but you are going through a big cycle that is teaching you something along your journey, teaching you ways to land on your feet, teaching you ways to, it's almost like surviving skills in a way, right? It's almost like it's toughening you up a little bit, or it's shining you up, kind of like the crystal that just popped in my head. Like, there's something called a tumbler, I believe, for crystals, that you have raw crystals, right? And they go through a tumbler, and I don't know if it has a little bit of sand and water, but it's almost like a pearl, right? And we don't have this here, but I remember when I was doing the zodiac signs, the pearl popped out, I think twice. And I was saying, like, I don't know if it takes thousands of years, but it definitely takes a long time, or hundreds of years for the sand to move through that oyster and create that pearl. It takes a while for that pressure to become a diamond. And I kind of think that you've kind of lost sense of self and started trying to help others because of this unconscious feeling of being unworthy and not good enough. So it's like, well, if I'm not good enough for my dreams, maybe I can help somebody else's. But it's really time to focus back on you and really trust your talents in these changing times, because you do have more than one gift and more than one dream. And if you've been really super focused on one, it's time to really just tap into flow, go out and do something fun, and just dream a little. Remember some passions that you had before when you were a child or whatever, right? Write a list of 5 things you want to do and try to attempt to do those in the time that you're waiting for that clarity, because that clarity is going to come. It's just you've been focusing way too hard on some things that you just really can't control. All right. So that's my advice for you, pile 1. Let's tap into pile 2. All right. What's the advice for you, pile 2? You hear those geese? Hearing those geese too, it reminds me of certain birds fly south for the winter. I don't know if pile 2 you're moving or there's a need for you to move, but you got find gratitude for this present moment. Let me get 2 more cards to see what's going on. Yes, pile 2, like, I don't know, something got you really in a shitty mood. And it's probably, it kind of feels like the recurring theme, because things weren't going your way. And, like, let's face it, like, just like a kid, when things aren't going our way, we want to pout, scream, shout, whatever. And you have every right to do that. But don't take it out on anybody else. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like maybe pile 2, you might have been doing that. I'm seeing the Hermit card, retreat and recharge. And High Priestess, harness mystic power. For some of y'all don't know exactly how powerful you are. Let me get a drink of water real quick. And it's a thin line, because again, for those that do know, right? Let's say you tap into the witchy vibes and you like to manifest and you like to create things from your own essence and magic, right? Those are tools that you can use to actually shift the energy. In essence, change something, right? But again, you can't control everything, and what's that show? Like, magic comes with a price. It always does. The time and energy that you use to put in thing and manipulate energy, right? Like, you're conjuring that energy to create something, calling energy in, harnessing it, right? There's a action, right? With every action, there's a reaction. So know what you're doing, okay? Because for some of y'all, maybe certain things backfired or some things didn't work. Either way, I think that you need to reel it in and kind of understand who you are first and foremost. Like, what are really your gifts and talents? Have you been using them? And if you haven't been using them, there's a need for you to use them so you can possibly be able to enhance them a little bit better or get to know them a little bit better so you can start, one, calling things to your heart, because really looking at find gratitude for this present moment. Again, you cannot control everything. Like it's already written. But there are things that you can control, like choices to make. And it's not always about manifesting money, cars, a boyfriend, like all that stuff. Hey, if people want to believe that they did that, more power to you. But I feel like it rolls back into the foundation of manifesting more wisdom, manifesting clarity, manifesting freaking gratitude. You know, a safe space for you to freaking do this type of work in the first place. So then in turn, you can actually be able to be open to receive what is best for your highest and greatest good. Because, you know, maybe you did manifest a man. Does it mean that's your life partner? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I don't want to sound like a hater, but I kind of feel like pile two, I don't know. It's kind of like you got a little bitterness of something that hasn't been working with you. And Spirit really wants to let you know, like, it's time to actually retreat. Go into the cave. Start creating from the heart. Start finding gratitude, because you can find gratitude for the littlest things. And really start harnessing your power, because you may have been giving your power away too much, right? High Priestess here? What? Like, some of y'all just don't know how powerful you are. And because of that, right, Spirit will only give you but so much. Because imagine having like the power of literally manifesting with a snap of a finger. Like I said, if you manifest the boyfriend of your dreams, right, what if in your next season, this ain't really the energy you in, and you still got this guy hanging on you like a hangnail? Then what, right? Everything isn't for everybody, and everything isn't for every season. So be mindful and just continue working on you, because I don't feel like you can ever stop learning who you are. All right, pile two, blessed be. Much love. Let's go to pile three. Last but not least. Okay. All right, pile three. We got the same thing. Gratitude can keep you in the present moment, revealing how to receive and give love. Let's see what else, pile three. Okay, so for pile three, I think unlike pile two, I think that you have been, I have the busy bee here. I think that you have been working a lot, trying to stay productive and really tap into the things that you love that bring you joy. And this is Medicine Mother too. Honor your inner knowing. I think that there has been a season for you, pile three, that has been working through the heart space in a more balanced way, where it's like keeping gratitude in your heart for the things that are going on. They may not be the best, but it's like you're focused on where you know you need to go. And sometimes, like I was saying for pile two, sometimes we think we know, but we really don't know. And we just start doing stuff. Because we're kind of like focusing more so on the outer world, or trying to please other people, or it's like you start aligning with other people's goals that aren't even yours. And I think that pile three, you guys have been just really working on yourself, trying to understand how to receive, right? How to create from a space of love, and really honor your inner knowing. Because once you really truly know what you do desire and you honor that, then you can start aligning to those goals and really feeling like the rewards being reaped. Because you're creating from the heart, you know. I was listening today, this morning, how some people were, it was some blog, and she was saying that there's a difference from loving somebody from the root chakra than loving someone from the heart space. It is a big difference. The root chakra is right at your genital area, right? It's also materialistic. It's the lowest level. And when you're vibrating at a higher level of love, and again, please don't mistake me for judging anything. It's just a level of consciousness. And not to say the root chakra, loving someone from the root chakra is wrong, right? But again, it's just different frequencies. And to put it in layman's term, would you love somebody the same way you did when you were a teenager, opposed to a 30, 40-year-old woman or man? You know? And sometimes when we don't work through the heart space and develop on our personal needs and goals, we could be operating still stuck from high school years, and we could be 30 something, 40 years old, because we didn't heal that inner child wound. We didn't heal a lot of those shadows that were created from our subconscious. And I'm bringing that up because I think that, Pile 3, you have been healing certain things and understanding that. And giving yourself grace, hopefully. And if you haven't, please do. And I'm going to say that message for everyone because that concludes my message. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, Pile 3. Thank you, all piles. But I do feel that collectively, this time, as I'm recording this, I probably will be posting this on the day of the 14th is the solar eclipse at its potency. We have like a pre-shadow and a shadow phase. That energy is felt very potent throughout the 3 days before and the 3 days after. Please take time, take rest. While you're resting, you're just being mindful of your thoughts, mindful of your desires, and really setting some new intentions with gratitude from where you came from, with gratitude from what you're releasing, right? And with gratitude for the unknown things that you'll be receiving for your highest and greatest good, all right? And also, I really just think that it would be a great time to manifest clarity. So we're not really in this shape-shifting energy, people-pleasing energy. No, we're going to please ourselves this time. Have a better relationship with God, universe, source energy, and really work on setting some goals that we can really dedicate ourselves during the winter season. Okay? So that concludes my message. If you're feeling the vibe, please subscribe. Okay? Again, I invite you to the Queen of Wands Club, which you can check out. Subscribe by clicking that link below. If you're watching this on Substack, thank you for subscribing. And look out for more because I'm going to be starting up the burnout series, which talks a lot about my own burnout and things that I've discovered about burnout. There's deeper levels and layers to burnout, and we're going to talk about the nitty-gritty. And check out those zodiac signs that I got for y'all. What else? And my services. If you like a personal reading, I do have bookings open right now. You can definitely check that link out below. And any questions, comments, whatever, just comment below and I will let you know. Alrighty, I'm out of y'all. Peace, much love. Until next time. Bye.